He shoved a plastic explosive into the tracks and covered it with gravel. Gripping the detonator, he ducked into the nearby brush, waiting for the German supply train to approach. But when he looked up, he saw that the Germans had tied hostages to the front of the locomotive. He hesitated. To avoid harming the innocent, he triggered the explosion early. The German train slammed on its emergency brakes and came to a halt just before it could derail. The German commander ordered the hostages to repair the tracks while the rest of the soldiers scouted the surrounding area. He slipped past the German scouts and fled into the mountains, pivoting to Plan B to cut off the enemy's supplies. The German commander deployed more soldiers to sweep the tracks for bombs. Meanwhile, he climbed to the summit and raced to the other side of the mountain. Despite his injured leg, he tumbled down a steep slope and reached a tool shed beside the tracks. He pulled out a pre-positioned wrench and began unscrewing the rail bolts one by one. The Germans had already finished repairing the tracks, and the train was heading right toward him. Hearing the train's whistle, he quickened his pace. He grabbed a hammer and pounded out all the spikes securing the rails. 3 German scouts heard the clanging against the metal and rushed toward his position. Once everything was ready, he packed his tools and hid in the tall grass. However, the scattered rail components were only 50 meters away from the scouts. They noticed a movement in the brush and moved into a high alert stance. But as they turned to look, the train arrived. They abandoned their search and hurriedly hopped onto the moving cars. The German commander climbed to the highest point of the train to scout for himself and spotted the loose rail parts. He jumped off the train and waved frantically at the cabin to stop, but it was too late. The train finally derailed, and the mission was a success. The German commander moved to the road and flagged down a truck convoy, ordering his men to transfer all the supplies from the train to the trucks. Once the cargo was moved, he coldly ordered the execution of all the hostages at the front of the train. After the Germans departed, he climbed onto the wreckage, only to see the bodies of the hostages lying by the road. His mission was complete, but some things remained tragically beyond his control.